Hey folks, welcome to the Foods for Bone Health segment of the course. I'm Ryan from OsteoStrong Pittsburgh, and today we're going to be talking about how we can maintain strong and healthy bones every day through what we eat. It can be easy to forget about how important our bones are, especially if you feel that they are in great shape or don't think about them much. But the truth is that 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men over the age of 50 will experience an osteoporotic fracture in their lifetime. I know we're starting off with a cold hard fact, but remember, knowledge is power. We've been conditioned to compartmentalize our health, in part due to the way Western medicine is delivered. We have a pulmonary specialist for our lungs, endocrinologist for our hormonal health, and orthopedist for our musculoskeletal system. And rightfully so. The complexities of the human body necessitate a divide and conquer approach when training the professionals who will ultimately diagnose and treat us. However, it's important to remember that there is an interplay between nearly every metabolic process we experience. For example, the marrow, which lives within the spongy layer of your bones, produces white blood cells known as leukocytes for your immune system. And that's just the beginning. Bone also interacts with the cardiovascular system, buffering your blood to regulate your pH levels, and the endocrine system, storing calcium and phosphorus under the direction of the parathyroid gland. There are plenty of other examples of this overlap of organ systems, but the point is that they work together to keep you functioning. From childhood, we've been told that milk is all that bones really need. But the calcium found in milk is only one nutrient that affects your bone health. Whether you follow a specific diet like keto or Mediterranean or subscribe to a lifestyle like veganism, your nutrient intake within that framework will determine whether you reach your healthiest potential. Dr. Jayson Calton and Mira of the Calton Institute of Lifestyle Medicine have coined the term nutrivore to describe a person who, regardless of dietary philosophy, understands the health-producing and disease-preventing power of micronutrients and strives for micronutrient sufficiency through their diet and supplementation program. By the end of this program, I hope you understand just how important each and every nutrient is for your bones. Now that we have an appreciation for the interplay between your body's various systems, we can start to unravel the misconception that bones only need calcium and maybe a dusting of vitamin D. While those two tend to get all the airtime, there are actually 30 essential micronutrients that play a role in your bone health. Let's dig into a few and find out where we can get them. Vitamin A is a powerful antioxidant that protects against oxygen-based damage to cells. It plays an essential role in regulating osteoclast function and the development of osteoblasts. Be sure to review our anatomy of bones and bone remodeling videos for a refresher on those two cell types. You get various forms of this vitamin in liver, dairy, fish, sweet potatoes, carrots, and leafy greens. Vitamin B3, otherwise known as niacin, assists in calcium signaling. It also improves adiponectin secretion, the protein hormone that modulates fatty acid oxidation, glucose regulation, insulin sensitivity, and conversion of omega-3. We know that omega-3s, one of the fatty acids, plays a host of critical functions in the body, including bones. This vitamin can be found in meat, salmon, leafy greens, and beans. Vitamin B6, known as peroxidin, plays a role in reducing the homocysteine levels. B6 deficiency causes an imbalance in the coupling between osteoblasts and osteoclasts, with increased bone cavities and reduction in new bone formation. You will find B6 in fish, milk, carrots, and potatoes. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that protects against oxygen-based damage to cells. One of its 8 forms, delta-tocotrienol, can prevent the erosion of the bone surface and also be effective in increasing bone formation and preventing bone resorption. Vitamin E is found in sunflower seeds, wheat germ, and almonds. Potassium neutralizes bone-depleting metabolic acids, conserves calcium within the body, and reduces calcium loss. Studies show that potassium can decrease bone breakdown and stimulate new bone formation in postmenopausal women. You can get your potassium from lentils, acorn squash, and bananas. And the list goes on. Boron enhances calcium absorption and estrogen metabolism. Chromium preserves bone mineral by reducing the loss of calcium in urine. Vitamin C aids in collagen and elastin synthesis, both necessary elements in the bone matrix. And zinc helps regulate proper calcium absorption. Hopefully you can see just how critical it is to be sufficient in all your essential micronutrients. And if you're curious about additional food sources for any particular vitamin or mineral, and internet search will quickly provide a plethora of options. Armed with the knowledge of the metabolic roles micronutrients play, the next step is to actually get them into our bodies. Without a doubt, food is the primary source. Supplementation, which we will cover briefly at the end, is an important secondary source. For now, let's cover 9 shopping tips that you can implement to maximize your intake of the right vitamins and minerals. Buy local and organic whenever possible. The processing and packaging needed to transport foods hundreds of miles and the preservatives used to extend shelf life take a toll on the micronutrient composition of foods. A study published in the journal Environmental Research shows that when study participants switched to eating a diet of at least 80% organic food for 1 week, your analysis revealed an 89% reduction in detectable levels of pesticides. A good rule of thumb is that if it comes in a package, be it a box or bag, some level of processing took place. There are exceptions though, and it's not realistic to try to live on unprocessed produce alone. Start small and increase your fruit and vegetable intake gradually. If you can afford organic, your body and bones will thank you. However, the benefits of organic are not the same for each type of food. So an internet search on the best organic foods to buy will help you maximize your grocery budget and health. Meat should be organic and grass-fed. A joint research study between the USDA and Clemson University found that compared to grain-fed, grass-fed beef has higher amounts of calcium, magnesium, thiamine, riboflavin, and potassium, has more than 400% more vitamins A and E, and is up to 4 times as rich in omega-3 fatty acids, with a more favorable ratio of omega-3 and omega-6 levels. The old adage rings true: you are what you eat, but you're also what they ate. Choose organic and free-range poultry and eggs. There's a lot of marketing misinformation around eggs, so watch out for terms like cage-free. It is not the same as free-range. Eggs from hens raised on pastures contain 7 times as much beta-carotene, a form of vitamin A, and 3 times as much vitamin E, and more anti-inflammatory omega-3s. Always purchase wild fish that has been troll, pole, or line caught. According to the USDA National Nutrient Database, wild-caught fish can have up to 380% more omega-3s than factory farmed. Avoid unhealthy omega-6 fats when choosing oils. Omega-6 fats are necessary, but the hormones they produce support an inflammatory response. However, the standard American diet has led to a profound imbalance in the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, many times more 6s to 3s. Generally speaking, you should strive for as close to a 1-to-1 ratio as possible. For example, common vegetable oils such as soybean and corn oil can contain a ratio of 10-to-1 or even 20-to-1, with omega-6 content far outweighing omega-3. For a better ratio, stick with grass-fed butter, ghee or lard, and palm coconut or MCT oil. Ditch the store-bought salad dressings and condiments. Most are loaded with sugar and a preponderance of those unhealthy oils. Use an alternative flour mix. Due to the prevalence of genetic modification and processing in the wheat industry, alternatives like coconut, almond, and buckwheat flour, along with flax meal, make a great alternative when baking. Choose organic stevia, xylitol, or low-han as sweeteners. All 3 have a low glycemic index, meaning they don't spike blood glucose levels. Additional research is being done on stevia and xylitol for their ability to increase calcium metabolism and calcium absorption, respectively. Speaking of sweeteners, let's digress for a moment to talk sugar. A recent study conducted by the Wall Street bank Credit Suisse revealed that sugar makes up 17% of the global diet for a daily average consumption of 17 teaspoons. This represents a 45% increase over the last 3 decades. Sugar is one of the main culprits in blocking the absorption of all those lovely micronutrients we discussed, so this trend is alarming to say the least. Think of sugar as an anti-nutrient and look for aliases like fructose, maltodextrin, and dextrose. And by all means, avoid synthetic sugar substitutes. The most popular brand names, often found in ramekins at your local diner, are Splenda, NutraSweet, Equal, and Sweet and Low. The chemical names are sucralose, aspartame, acesulfame, potassium, and saccharin. And finally, be smart when choosing beverages. The explosion of the beverage market has played no small part in our skyrocketing sugar consumption. Ditch the sugar-laden sodas in BPA-lined cans, as well as sugary juices and coffee drinks. glass bottled beverages are safer, and there are many sparkling water varieties to choose from these days. To end this segment, I'd like to share the results of a study conducted by the American Dietetic Association, now known as the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. The title itself is a mouthful. Problems encountered in meeting the recommended dietary allowances for menus designed according to the Dietary Guidelines for Americans. Whew. A group of dietitians were asked to create menus that met the RDA, the recommended daily allowances for the essential micronutrients, while providing 2,200 to 2,400 palatable calories. Shockingly, not one dietitian was able to meet the study's objective, even with the aid of specialized computer software. According to the researchers, only 11% of the menus met the RDA for zinc. Half did not meet the RDA for vitamin B6, and 1/3 did not meet the RDA for iron. One can only conclude that if trained dietitians cannot create a menu that serves up micronutrient sufficiency, we need to look for a high-quality supplement. There are many resources available to find the right multivitamin for you. For example, www.compareyourmulti.com is a good place to start. For further learning, please refer to the resources in the video description below. And finally, we'd like to thank Calton Nutrition for their expertise in the area of bone health, and of course, you for watching. Have a great day.